Welcome to the ITM podcast.
This is episode 197 of the ITM podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of CLNS Media, brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network. I'm Joey Capone. That's Scott Neville. What an infuriating disaster on the field. Scott, how you doing?
Not good, Joey. Not good. Two, come from behind losses. The first one's just a straight beat down. The last two hurt a little more. To be honest, though, if you're trying to make the most painful series possible, I would say probably two comeback losses and then just an absolute beatdown, especially if it's opening day where you don't even get like a second to be excited.
Exactly. Like out of the gate on your opening day, you stink it up. Then two come from behind losses against a team that is essentially a 12U travel team that is maybe an average age of 15 years old. You know what? This has gone on long enough. Play the song.
It would be so sad to have an infield that can play baseball, like Major League caliber baseball. Jansen came from the pen and my worries came to life. 83 in the dirt, 89 down the pike. Cold, dreary April Thursday, lost without your embrace. Shots blow a late one again, punch me in the face. How do you lose to a team of children? How come nothing good ever happens to us? It's like Boston sports fandom. It's a life sentence of misery. I can't take it anymore.
I don't know who keeps making these, but they're fucking fire, dude. They're sick.
I had no idea you were going to do
these.
that. I was not ready. I'm glad my mic muted automatically because I was almost crying. I didn't see that coming at all. The first one
yet.
No, I have not. Certainly have not. That was the first one took the world by storm. And I wanted to ask you. I wanted to text you and be like, what the hell is going on here? But then I was like, we got to save it for the show. I did not know that you'd be releasing. I think you could do a full album at this place, the All-Star break.
Let me tell you, they're coming. They're coming often. They're coming often.
I don't know how you did that one. The game ended an hour ago, and you had highlight reels from the game in there. You could things clipped from that happened. Some of those clips were from 36 minutes ago, and you already wrote the song. Unreal.
I posted it at the final out. Let me tell you,
I didn't know
the eighth inning came along, and I was like, they're gonna lose this game in heartbreaking fashion. I'm gonna write a country song.
As you should, as most people would. I'm surprised.
I'm glad you got yours out. Is the exact same.
I'm glad you got yours out before everyone else started rolling theirs out. It's good to be first in the podcast game.
Let me tell. If anyone starts rolling country songs out, I'm gonna be. You guys are gonna see what an asshole I can be. Very few things do I claim ownership of. I will be a dick about this.
You still call your shot fine. You're going to take this. You're going to take the pitching previews. We have two things. Okay, give us something. And both of them, I wasn't even a part of, and I love that.
Those are our listen, you can take a lot of things from me. Pitching preview off the table. Not AI. Not AI. Singing country songs.
I'm part of Sports Illustrated. You could be real careful with those words around me. That was quite the controversy. I wasn't even within 50 feet of that. I didn't do anything.
I got DMs when that news dropped. If you're up on the news, like about Sports Illustrated, a lot of people being like, "Always knew you were AI." Could always tell.
The amount of Oh, the amount of texts I got being like, "Oh, I don't even know if you're real." I was like, "Shut up, shut up forever." It's not funny. It was an ad or some sales thing. It wasn't even sport.
Oh, okay.
All right. Were you fake? Were you fake? You wrote 3 times a year. You think I have, time to?
If I was an AI, I was the least efficient AI there's ever been.
Yeah. And it was 1,600 words for no reason, and it was rants in the title. You didn't even care about the title. You didn't care about views. You were just getting stuff off your chest.
Yeah, it's a diary. I treated sportsillustrated.com as a diary.
You really did. You really did.
And much like a
Anyway,
diary, it had one entry every like 4 months where I'd be like, hey, dear journal, forgot you exist.
yeah. Justin
Yeah.
Turner, 1,600 words.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch the winnings roll in. Prize Picks is so easy to play. I can make my Celtic picks and make my entry in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals and easy gameplay and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. Celtics and NBA fans, you can get in on Prize Picks in 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. On Prize Picks this week, I'm selecting Jason Tatum to dish out more than 5 assists and his teammate Jaylen Brown to have more than 22.5 points. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Prize Picks.
Let's talk about this game first because it sucked so bad. I can't go back and be like, oh, let's talk about how fun and beautiful opening day was. This was the worst. This was 2023 Boston Red Sox. This was like September 2023 Boston Red Sox. Scott, they got to a fucking point in this game where they didn't have enough players.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough guys to field the team. They were going to put Pivetta at DH.
I was furious at that point. There was, Reese was insanely out. That was the most strike. Like couldn't have all strike zone. Like none. Oh, that was infuriating. It was a quick.
The umps have been
I don't
terrible, but like not there at all. That's a strike.
It was. It was a quick hook. I'd love to know what he said. It had to have been. For that quick of it had to be borderline racist, I think. I don't know how else you get a quicker hook than that. That was like pitch came in, he turned, and he was like, "Get out forever, you're done." And then
unless he turned around and just said, "Toss me," like
yeah.
I don't know, which would be like the most insane thing possible. I don't know what he could have said. It had to have been like towing some lines.
Cora being like, "No, you idiot! I have 8 players now. Why did you do that?"
Did we ever find out what the actual situation was going to be? Because they didn't get around the order, but Yoshida did go into left.
Yeah, so you lose the DH, so he would have been. Who was the last out?
So they basically needed to put in either an injured Romy or Raffy, or put a pitcher in the DH.
It would have been the pitcher, almost certainly, because if they're not going to put Devers in there, and Romy, I believe, was in a splint today. So there's no way he was playing. I don't know what the holdup was, why they were just like, let's just leave him on the roster. We'll cast him up and just hope nothing bad happens today. What could go wrong? I don't know if that was the plan.
Yeah.
Devers being completely unavailable. Like he does not typically, when he gives like injury off days, put people in. But little concerning that in that situation, they were still like, we would rather have a pitcher up in extra innings potentially. I guess we never saw it technically, but would it have been that crazy to just put Devers at, with a bad left shoulder, put him at third, and maybe have to, even if he has to go like, even if the bat, just hold the bat and just hope they walk you like that? I feel like that would have made sense. It's the second time this year. If you want to talk about depth, second time this year, Cora said, you know what? We're rolling with 8 players. We're going to that's.
Is it the second time?
Oakland, game 2.
Did that happen in game 2?
The election, the like 11th inning one. Yeah, we had either Dahlbeck or Casas. I forget which one. One was DHing, one was playing first, and then they had to put the other one at first, and then we just lost the DH. Again, the pitcher never came up because similar situation. The game ended before that arose, but we were very close to having a pitcher hitting then, and it looked like we were going to have it again today.
I didn't realize that it happened in Oakland. I must have either completely missed that or My memory is back to its old form.
What?
That's
What was that?
insane. It's
12th
insane.
inning.
Like, how 2 weeks into the year have there been 2 opportunities or 2 situations in which there are not enough fucking players, not even good players, just you don't have enough guys?
Mhm.
What are we doing? Dude, that's sad. That's some out of the race in September kind of stuff. To be doing
Yeah,
that
so
April 11th.
they did it April 2nd the first time, and it was I had the box score here. You had I believe 2 double switches. You had Rafaela go center field second to center field, just like today. I think it was reverse, whatever. And yeah, so you had Casas go from DH to first, so you lost your yeah, because Abreu pinch hit for Dahlbeck and then moved to right field. So then when Dahlbeck got pulled out of the game, you had to have Casas go from DH to first. And then
Mhm.
for some reason, because it was a double switch, you had Winkowski in the lineup for Wong in the 9 hole because you, again, double switch. So we
Mhm.
almost saw Winkowski. If we didn't, there was a comeback win there in I think it was the 11th, but if we had gone to the 12th, we would have seen a pitcher because I believe he was close to up.
Were there any pitcher ABs last year? Not for
Off
the
the top of
Sox. I
my
just mean
head,
like across baseball.
oh,
Like I feel like that would have
oh,
been, the socials would have loved that.
I feel like there had to have been like an instance, but I can't. I mean, it would have taken something like this, and there was certainly no teams doing it twice in 10 days or whatever.
Dude, the fact that Cora has to manage like that is fucked
He
up.
was so mad when Reese got yanked and hooked, and he was just like, "I had a game plan. It was gonna come down to the last straw. Now we're just getting weird."
Like if they had gone to the 14th, like what happens?
It would have been pitchers continually hitting. Although we didn't even really have any pitchers, come to think of it. We had Chase Anderson and Campbell. I saw a lot of people freaking out, be like, "Why is Campbell in that spot?" I'd rather now maybe my rankings change, but at the time I would have preferred Campbell over Anderson. At this
I don't know.
juncture, I'm
Campbell,
not
I mean, that's
100%
2
sure.
blow-ups in this series for Campbell because he also, I mean, everybody's focused on the Martin one in game 2, which like makes sense because that's the anomaly, but he also had a blow-up. He also had a 3-run inning in game 2. By the way, quick little fun stat because I don't want to spend much time on anything other than misery, which I guess this falls under the category of misery, but just a quick little stat about game 2, just to jump all over the place and be confusing. Martin giving up those 3 runs. It is the first time that he has had a 3-run outing in exactly 100 appearances. It was June
Yeah,
of 22. He was with the Cubs. How crazy is that?
2 teams ago. That's impressive. I
Mm-hmm.
think with him, I almost made I don't remember if it was a bold or disappointing. I think yeah, you did like disappointing player for like the season preview. My thing with Chris Martin was almost gonna be he's going to give up runs. Like not he's going to be bad, which is why I ultimately didn't do the disappointing thing, but it's like you can't expect a sub 2 ERA 2 years in a row, and that's just gonna happen sometimes. The timing of that was I mean, a blow up is always gonna be a bad situation, but that one just we were really on our last vibe there. The Boston Vibe Sox were really on their last
Mm-hmm.
vibe, and that was not good. I
It
mean,
was
that we
horrible.
did
And
not
the
do
thing
that.
is, like, I think it caught people off guard too because Holliday was on deck. It was Holliday's debut, and he's on deck, and there were 2 on, and it was like, oh, he's gonna walk him. It's gonna be bases loaded for the kid. Like that's just what it felt. I don't know. Everybody was already thinking about Jackson Holliday and like taking out their phones to get, a late game situation with Holliday in the box and like a chance to do something big with the bases loaded. Uh, and then what's his name? Westberg, who was just a menace this series, just took a shit all over his moment. Just absolutely cucked Jackson Holliday, took his moment, and hit the deepest home run you can hit at Fenway is like that center field camera well, like the left center at the end of the monster. The one like the Giancarlo Stanton,
Yeah, it
Gary
has to go.
Sanchez.
It's got to go like 400 feet and then be at least like 35 feet in the air as well. Like high.
Like
That's
realistically, you have to hit the ball 440.
insane. It's
Is
got to be a
that?
ball. Yeah, I mean, well, because the height, you need the height to be what, 32 feet? Is that the monster? Am I tripping?
32 or 28. I don't remember. I think it's 32.
Let's go 32. Screw it,
Why
whatever.
not?
It's our rule. It's
It's
our
our
show. We
show.
can say whatever we want. Make it 34. Who's gonna stop
You know
us?
what?
Anyone want to? Someone chime in if you disagree.
Are you there?
Yes, that's what I thought.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Dude, that sucked. That sucked. That was horrible. If you want to take a silver lining away, I don't even want to go back to game 2 anymore. I just wanted to talk about that shit. We'll go through the other games, but still more, if you can believe it, on game 3. I don't even know where to start. If it's from the beginning, I guess is a good place to start. Whitlock, I don't have his final line in front of me. I don't even really care about what his line was. He obviously didn't decide the game. And
You want me to say it or no?
Yeah. You got it.
Okay, so we went 5 innings, 85 pitches, 54 strikes, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 2 walks, home run allowed. But he got 10 whiffs, which is uncharacteristic lately, but a good sign. He's now got a 1.26 ERA. Pretty good.
That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Well, it kind of takes away from my point because I did write a little bit about him not generating whiffs. 10 tonight is good. That's something.
He didn't. He couldn't at the beginning of the start, and then he started to get some late. Like in the first, I think he had like 5 foul balls in the first inning or so, and then it was like then he started finally miss some bats.
What's weird about him and that hit me like this week and that I was watching for in this start is that he has this combo that you usually see one or the other of, and he somehow manages to check both of these boxes that are not bad, undesirable, I guess is the word I would say, is that he manages to rack up a high pitch count and doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. Like it's usually one or the other. Like if you're a ground ball pitcher, if you're a contact guy, the advantage there is that you're throwing less pitches. And if you're a high pitch count guy, it's usually because you're working counts deep and you're striking guys out. It's like every situation with Whitlock is like a 6-pitch AB, 7-pitch AB that ends in a ground out that you hope that your infield can field. Which is another thing with not just Whitlock, but the whole pitching staff that like you have a bunch of ground ball guys you're putting out there. And a defense that just looks worse every minute of every day. So I mean, I don't want to. I guess there's no reason to sit here and rag on Whitlock of all the pitchers to get on, but it's just something to keep an eye on. Where like it's a useless conversation to have, but it's just more evidence in the whole like I don't think he's a starter bucket. Yeah. He's still the top of my list of concerns in the rotation.
Yeah, I think he's developing more than I would have expected, but I agree. And the funny thing is when he was a reliever, he was the opposite. He was a big strikeout guy, and it didn't take him that many pitches, which, as you said, usually it is one or the other. The other weird anomaly with him that I typically don't like to see, but it's been working, is the cutter slider combo, which usually you pick one or the other because then what happens is you start to throw. It's the same arm action. It's similar in grip, and then you end up blending them, and then it just kind of becomes one pitch. And also, it's not hard if you're looking for the cutter to adjust to a slider because you're already waiting for the same spin. It's slower, so you have more time to react. The other way around, if you're looking slider and it's cutter, that could screw you a little bit. But again, the motion's the same. You're ready for the spin. It's a weird combo, but it's working for him so far, and it's working better than anything he's been doing since he became a starter and then reliever and then starter and then reliever and then starter. But, I guess roll with it, but it's weird.
I think the thing that like the thing that makes that work is the increased movement in his sweeper slider because it does move so much. I mean, if he had, a soft hanging slider, then I think, then yeah, sure. Like that, glove side movement is easy to adjust to, but I think it's kind of wiping people out. I mean, especially I would like to see how many of those whiffs were on that slider sweeper. Does he care? He seems like a guy who would say he calls it a slider.
I want to say he's vehemently against sweeper. And you know what's funny is today they had his like pitch mix and they included a
Mhm.
sweeper and a slider, and
What?
they keep calling it a bullet slider, which I think they're saying it moves like a slider, less movement, harder. Some people would just call that a cutter, and we're just now inventing new words. Just like a sweeper, fun fact, is just a slider. I hate that so much, but we're making it 8 different pitches. Now everyone has an 8
I
pitch
know.
arsenal because they have 3 different sliders.
And like I think the thing with the bullet slider that I heard was that like it in action is not even like very different at all. It's almost exclusively in grip and in release. It literally has like a trigger finger kind of release to it, hence bullet.
Mhm.
And it's like we can't be naming pitches different because a grip is different. You switch up your grip, you can't. I don't know, but also if you want to go back, circle change. That was 20 years ago. We were calling things a circle change, and that's just a change up.
Yes, but that has at least a whole different move. Like I had a split change in high school. That was very different than a change up in
Yeah.
its actual like straight down versus 45-degree angle. I can see that. But a slot like if you're gonna do that, then Rich Hill had 25 pitches because he used to throw he would purposely throw his curveball from any angle, almost sidearm all the way to 12-6 and at different velocities. And we didn't just start naming it different stuff. And I understand the different like knuckle curve versus 12-6. I get that. The
Mhm.
sweeper thing is just frustrating to me. I don't know why we do that. But hey, we got a lot to be frustrated about on the field. That's a discussion for other stuff, That's writers that you're
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
mad at or
yeah.
whatever.
The 8th inning of Game 3. It started with one guy in particular.
They said Lucas Giolito is gonna miss the whole year. Von Grissom's gonna need some time, not what you wanna hear. Chris Murphy needs some downtime, Hendricks might return. Trevor Story
we can talk over it.
And Pivot 2 is hurt, but we got Pablo.
Okay.
Baby Pablo is here to stay. I love Pablo. Put him at shortstop every day. I want to climb the highest mountain, shout it from the rooftop. Pablo Reyes can cure all. Pablo Reyes, Pablo King, oh King.
Anyway, Pablo makes the error at third that kickstarts this shitty 8th inning. Tough timing on that.
Do we move over maybe for that? Like, is there a way? There's no way that's recording. Is that recording face cam and post, or is that just going to be the way it looked there?
That's going to be the way it looks.
Yeah, so we got to like dart over
Yeah, we'd
there
have
for
to lean
reactions.
around it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta bounce the other way. That's why you can't have the mirrored camera there, Joey. That would have thrown me.
Yeah,
I
I
would have
know.
hesitated. I would have been too late. I would have missed it. But I don't have it, so I can move the right way.
know.
Anyway, yeah, that's my new favorite thing about this show. Just dropping those. That was something that was played in this house quite a bit between me and Steve M,
Oh, yeah?
not Steve P. Yeah, he played it during the Pablo's final at bat tie game. We were pretty sure that was going to be cranked, and then he hit one so high that for a second I was like, "We did it. We played the music. We got it back."
Yeah.
Well, not even really
Didn't
that
work.
close. No, it wasn't even a warning track shot, but
You did your
yeah, a
part.
couple-
That's what matters.
I tried
A
everything.
lot of people calling that to be Pablo's walk-up music. And let me just say I'm not against it.
We'll have to do some work on the field if we can ever both get on the field together. But we couldn't. That's maybe a different. Maybe save that for emptying the bench or something. But yeah, that was.
We don't call it that.
Speaking of,
We don't call it that. We don't call it that.
yeah, we don't. That's right. We no
Emptying our brains of thoughts with Joey and
Of
Scott.
thoughts.
It's always been the name of that segment. So emptying the bench is a basketball term anyway. Pablo makes a terrible error at third. And then Joely, I think Joely came in after that. Joely might have been on the mound for it. It doesn't really matter. But you just knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. And oddly enough, it didn't come at the hands of Joely. The double play. The David Hamilton just decided to forget the game of baseball. That's the thing that's so frustrating about Red Sox defense is that they don't look like bad major leaguers when they fuck up. They look like they don't know how to play baseball. And just not stepping on second on a double play is, oh my God, it's brutal.
To be fair,
Hit it.
if he was like a 12-year veteran, that was the rule.
Right. The ghost. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I don't think David Hamilton was playing in 2010.
He was. It just wasn't, it was middle school.
Yeah, he was. He was playing somewhere. Maybe they had the rule then.
Definitely had the rule then. Yeah,
Wherever
you could
he
kill
was.
people then. You would just slide and kill people. Breaking up double plays. It's one of the most fun things to do in life.
We'll talk around the horn, around the game sometime. But I had some thoughts on the who was it? Jeff McNeil.
Yeah,
and
Reese
thing.
Hoskins. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think I was in the minority there because I didn't like the slide. I didn't like it.
Oh, disagree. Yeah.
I know.
No, I mean, that's
I know.
certainly. He kept saying, you can't do that. And you certainly can do that. And then the ump was like, certainly can do that. And then they just kept playing. Like, super wrong. If you want to make it an unwritten rule, I didn't even think it was close to dirty. Here's what I would say spike up versus down. That spike was down. Spike up, I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just maybe it's Pedroia PTSD because it wasn't the spikes that got Petey. It wasn't the fact that there were sharps in him. It was the fact that it took out his knee. And I just don't.
Yeah, but he didn't even like the foot was down. The slide was like if they hit, that would have been a normal. Like that wouldn't have ruined a career. Not even close. Machado's slide was a lot more malicious, even though it wasn't spikes. It was still high and to like it's one thing to threaten like I'm coming at you, you got to make a different throw. It's another thing to actually just be like I'm laying you out. He didn't actually make contact. Feels like we're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Machado do the same thing to Brock Holt? Was that Machado?
Yeah, I don't know if it was. No, wasn't it? No, it was Tyler Austin. That was what started the.
It was
Joe
Tyler
Kelly
Austin. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, both of those slides, it's like you weren't anywhere near the bag. And I guess I don't know. Reese is closer than those guys were, but I don't know. Whatever, dude. I don't like it. I don't like it. No place in the game for it.
I like
Grow
old
up.
school baseball. Go truck somebody. I want catchers.
David Hamilton's still playing old school baseball because he's still playing by 2010 rules.
Well, nobody told him, and that's not his fault. Now I'm sure Core's going to talk to him after the game. That won't happen again.
No, never. No, because that's what it takes to fix defense. Everybody knows that is having a conversation with your manager where he says, "Don't do that again," and then you go, "Okay."
Well, if you remember last year, they used to always talk about, they're actually taking like fielding practice before every game, and you remember last year how much they improved.
Right. So that helped too. So all it takes is practice and getting yelled at, and then you can come out and blow the game. The fact that it was Weissert, Weissert came in right after that botched double play. The fact that it was the very first pitch is fucking hilarious. That's awesome. If it was going to happen, make it exactly like that. Like they wrote it perfectly.
There were 2 times where it was like, okay, like there was a defensive miscue. You gotta back up your guy. You gotta, protect him after that error. One was the Duran in game 1 or 2. I don't even remember. And
that was one.
Immediately, game 1, yeah, sure. And then immediate bomb. Immediately, oops. Like that was, and then Duran, that probably deserves its own thing just based on his reaction to everything. I've never seen some quotes like that. That was very like AAU high school baseball reaction after a bad game, and I appreciate that.
It's humanizing. It's humanizing for sure. Because I think Duran, more than maybe any other player in baseball, I think like reminds fans that these guys are people.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, I agree. The
'cause-
mental health stuff, just the straight up effort on the field, and then when he does screw up, you can tell it gets to him.
yeah,
He's also still balling overall. Good
yeah,
day
he's
today.
awesome. And like I feel for the guy because like obviously he had a tough start to his career, and I don't want him to keep beating himself up, but like at the same time, like when he beats himself up, like the results are there. So like maybe it's like a don't mess with his process thing, but I hope he's not being too hard on himself because in case you missed it, he's like punching his locker saying I fucking suck over and over again.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fucking suck. Jaron Duran is
Nothing.
like my favorite player to watch.
100%. I've been saying that for a while. As you know, Jacoby Ellsbury is my favorite growing up. Very similar play styles. And big moment there, game 2, when he just was like, it was 2 outs, but he was like, Jackson's not catching that ball. I'm going to run 40 miles an hour. I'm just going to run around from score from first. That was incredible on a pop up to shallow, I guess, right center. But yeah,
Shout
we
out
found
Jackson Holliday
Jackson's
for that
weakness.
one. Thank you.
We found his weakness, and it's over the head pop ups and
Yep,
also hitting.
twice this series.
Yeah.
Jackson Holliday just decided to call off the right fielder and chase a ball out there that
I
he
heard
had no business
somebody
even chasing down.
somebody called him a nepo baby. He's up there because of Holiday. I love that. I thought that was very funny.
I mean, yeah, if his name was like Jordan Grumberson, would we be sitting here being like, hell yeah, it's Grumberson's debut? We all gotta get around the TV and watch Grumby get his first AB?
I think Grumby would have not as much hype, but you're still talking about a 20-year-old that hit at every single level exceptionally well. Came in at AAA, hit 333, I believe it was, and AA just raked, and he was younger than every single person on the field. It's basically Roman Anthony. You could just ask who will be excited when Roman Anthony gets called
That's
up,
fair.
because his name isn't Grumby, but it's actually his name might be too cool as well.
His name is way too cool. His first name is
Yeah.
Roman.
Yeah.
Listen, here's how I know if a guy has a cool first name. If you're dating a girl and she has a guy friend and she's like, "Oh, you got to meet Roman."
Mm.
You'd be like, "Who the hell is Roman?" I don't like you
Is
you don't
he
picture, you know.
is he 6'2", 200 and rising up the Red Sox system faster than anyone?
Yeah. Is he the Red Sox number 1 prospect? Yes. Yes, he is. You're going to love him. He's great. He's so funny, babe. You're going to love him. I don't think
He's
I am.
Snapchat, but it's nothing.
Oh my God, I
It's
got to
just
show you what
streaks.
Roman sent me. Oh, do you? Oh, show me. That's how you know.
And wait, he sounds
That's
like
how you know.
he sounds like a hoot. I can't wait to hear this.
Oh man, he's funny. No, I don't even care about it. It's actually he sounds sick. No, I'm sure we'll get along. I'm sure when you walk out of the room, we'll have a lot to talk about.
He's like me, but taller and better and makes more money.
Wow, he's huge, huh? Wow, he's jacked. That's sick.
You don't
Roman's
like
way
that
too
stuff,
cool of a
though.
name. He's not our Grumby.
He's not a Grumby at all. Grumby's Nick York.
I was gonna say in the Red Sox system, I don't know if there is a guy because they're all we've like the first team all name team in our system. Miguel Blaze Jordan.
Yep. And
Come on, those are
Marcelo
great
Meyer is
names.
cool.
Marcelo Meyer's so cool. Like Marcelo Meyer passes the name test for like an all-star.
Oh, like a perennial shortstop. Like he's going to be our shortstop forever. Make some all-star
Mhm.
games. Oh, sorry about that. Dropped the
Yeah,
battery.
like 10 years
yeah.
from now, it'll be like I don't know. He just has face of the team written on him once he gets his hair back. But anyway, Isaiah Campbell comes into the game and ruined my life tonight.
And that was it.
2 bombs. Was it 6 earned? 6 runs. I think 4 earned.
It was 3-3 going in. So yeah. You got to take one away because one guy was on second, so that guy doesn't count.
Right.
So 5.
5. That's cool.
So not that bad.
So that's 8 earned runs in the last 2 outings for Isaiah Campbell.
I would just say, if I could talk to him for a second,
Yeah, go
next
ahead. Talk to him.
time you face Gunnar Henderson in an guy on second extra inning scenario. Maybe the four-seam fastball 4 times in a row isn't the end-all be-all. Maybe mix in something else. I don't love that strategy.
I don't understand how everybody isn't taking the Andrew Bailey school, just ripping it. How are you guys not ripping it? Stop throwing that pitch. It doesn't work.
Well, actually, he didn't until that he felt like he being rebellious in that at bat. Like he wasn't throwing the four seam that much at all. He had never thrown 4 in a row this year. It just felt like that was a good time to just say, I don't know if this guy is as good as he says he is. Let's see what happens. I throw pretty hard, and I don't think these major leaguers are gonna hit it. And then he was like, "Oops, that guy's right."
Oh shit, they did. They did hit it.
Oh you're right. Credit to you.
Yeah, and the thing the thing is, it's like I don't know what he needed to correct. I don't know why he was like, "Oh, you know what I got to do?" Because in my first 2 outings were scoreless. Should start throwing the pitch that our pitching coach vehemently hates.
Yeah. And it's not like, we're having middling results here. We have the best rotation of all time, and we just threw 5 bums out there and just said, I mean, that's a little dramatic. But we threw the rotation as a whole was supposed to be, I don't know, if you had to guess at this point in the season, they're like team ERA ranking, I would say 18th maybe would have been my guess. Like this many games in. Especially if you told me that we have a 7-6 record at this juncture. I would have said maybe 18 to 25 would probably be the range I would expect. And they're just like, nope, better than everyone.
Well, coming into tonight, coming into the Thursday game, a staff ERA of 2.36, like you said, still the best in the bigs. 4th in WHIP and 4th in average against. It is stunning, but like a couple of late game meltdowns still didn't knock, or I guess just the one is included in here. Still didn't knock him down.
We don't throw 4-seamers on this team. If you don't like it, get off the team. We do not throw 4-seamers. That is a banned pitch in our clubhouse.
That's just. Do you think maybe that's why Bernardino was in Worcester? They were like, until
He
you
was
figure out how to
rebelling.
knock that shit off.
And he was just like, I'm going to keep doing it. Do you think they were like in the bullpen and he was like, stop throwing fastballs? And Bernardino was like, oh, yeah, watch this. Boom.
They're like, Brennan, we're serious. Stop. Brennan, stop.
Yeah. Watch this.
Stop.
No, not going to
You're
do
going to
it.
get in trouble. You're going to go to Worcester. And then they did.
What is
and
it?
Then they were
0-2? 0-2? Guess what? Watch this. Bang. That's another one.
worked. I mean, the thing is, it worked. Whatever. But shout out Brennan Bernardino. He's back. 2 scoreless in game 2. Yeah. Yeah. 2 scoreless in game 2. Rock on. It is kind of crazy because, I mean, Campbell I think he was scoreless up to that point in game 2 of this series. Like he was scoreless for the season and came in, gave up 3. Martin, who I don't know has ever given up a run in his life, I don't remember it, gives up 3. And then Brennan Bernardino, who just got called up from Worcester, puts up 2 scoreless innings. So that's something. That's cool. The other thing because we're talking Brennan Bernardino. A couple of moves. I might have been wrong on a season prediction. By wrong, I mean not wrong yet. But our good friend Bob, he's gone. He's back down in Worcester, hitting bombs in Worcester again, just like I told you he would. You send him down. What does he do? Bomb. But I don't know if Bob for a while.
So you had him with a 110 OPS plus, I believe it was?
At the end of the year.
So can I ask you something? A scale of, again, so 110 would be like on the right side, right? And then like the negatives would be on the left. 0 would be right smack dab in the middle. Is a negative?
Well, 100 would be right in the middle.
No, that's
with
not how
with
this.
OPS.
Not with the
I'm,
OPS. No, because I'm throwing in negatives here. So I'm
I'm
talking.
saying
I'm
with
talking.
with OPS plus, the middle would still be 100.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
average of a player. But I'm saying on a scale here. Tell me if this is close. So you have
Yeah.
110 on the right side, and you have
Yep.
negative 100 on the left side, which is as low as possible. What do you think you were close? Because I would argue it'd be hard to get much further with that prediction. End of the year, so maybe I'm just a tough start for Bob. He typically has strong second half.
He's got some ground to make up. Sure.
Yep,
And here's
all
the
of it.
thing. I do appreciate you saying that that's as low as it can go. That's actually not true because it was negative 256 for a minute. His OPS plus. So
I stand correct. I don't know how
he had
that
hit the
works.
low, but he had been lower. Damn
If you
that.
come in one at bat, you strike out. What happens?
You go. You sit down. Put your bat down.
No, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, that was a stupid
Mm.
question. Let me try a
Yeah.
different one. Building
Try a
off
different one.
that,
I mean, I bet I can nail this one too.
1 for 1, with Joey.
Perfect. Put it
If
up.
you have one major league at bat and strike out, what is your OPS plus?
I bet we would have to find somebody who has done such a thing because I don't think I have the answer.
It's probably not worth spending much time on, but I'm
No,
curious.
it's really not. I don't know. I don't know what the lowest your because I'm pretty sure I saw Bob at negative 256. I might be wrong. It might be negative 100 being the
Well, I'm
minimum,
just
but I
thinking
didn't think so.
it's a
Could have
clean
sworn
negative
Bobby improved.
100, and he's got only hits and a lot of only hit lists and a lot of strikeouts in that span. I can't imagine. Like, do you think he gets more points for a ground out than a strikeout? Like, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So that's why I think it's maxed out there.
You
But
know what he
also,
did? You know what he did?
what do you do?
He advanced a runner 2
I
times.
don't think that's in the system. But also, while we're doing disagreements,
Sure.
a rack is $1,000. I looked it up after 10,000 or band.
Were we
What
talking about? Did I talk about that? Did
That
we do
was
that?
the first. I think it was like the first episode, maybe the second. I think it was the first. So
3 weeks later, everybody, if you're still tuning in, if you're hanging on the edge of your seat from that first episode, we got to figure out a rack is 1,000. What's a band?
oh shit, that might have been it. All right, whatever. I was right on the show, whatever it was. I think it might.
Band. Okay, there's no answer for it. Oh, a
There's
band
no
is
answer.
$1,000, also known as a grand or a stack.
A rack is also $1,000 in the form of 10 $100 bills specifically.
Whatever.
So yeah, they're all just synonyms. Cameraman had a tough weekend. I don't know if you were there for most of the
Yeah.
series. So
You know what? Tell me about it actually, because I was there. I was credentialed up. They sent me there. They rolled out the red
Was
carpet
they?
for me. They were like, "Come right up this way, Joey." And I was like, "You need to check my
Who-
bag." They're like, "You're good." I was like, "Oh, do I have to go over here through security?" They're like, "Come on this way." And they brought me to the elevator. Full meal. Oh my god, the opening day meal is like maybe the best part of opening day because like for the media, they had like steak and mac and cheese and chicken fingers and oh my god, dude. The salad is like so fresh there because it comes from the Fenway Gardens that it's like grown like right there. God. So no, I didn't watch it on TV. How was it on TV?
That first of all, thanks for the recap. Yeah. So yeah, this from my perspective at home on the TV. It's a
Mhm.
big TV.
Nice.
It's yeah.
Probably felt
it's-
like you were there anyway.
yeah, 86 inches. Nothing to
Nice.
yeah. So kind of the same
They got
thing.
one of those in the cafeteria in the press box.
Do they really?
Yeah,
That's
it's about that
huge. I
size.
feel like I would have missed that because I've seen the cafeteria, but I didn't feel like you might be exaggerating. But that's so. Anyway, what I was gonna say here, we had a couple of moments in game 2 specifically. Where were you in game 2? Well, you were just probably just like hanging out, and, like
I was at Fenway Park.
Fenway Park, right? Okay, game 2.
I was at Fenway Park. I
Yeah.
was standing up in the pavilion. A couple
Who
of
got you in
fans
there?
came up there, listeners, as you're supposed to call them in the
Really?
podcast industry. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
because
they
Joe
came up.
hates audio to get in. Like that's
I mean, I
like
would still say I'm a fan of a podcast. I don't know, but they do listen. They do listen. That's what makes them fans of the show. Whatever. They came
I
up.
think you can say fan. I think for me, it just like if you said like, "Oh, my fans," you just sound like the worst. I think it's
Yeah, listen. They're ITM listeners. They
mm,
came up and yeah, we were hanging out, and
mm.
a couple guys are like, "Let me buy you a beer." I'm like, I can't. And then another media guy, some guy from Underdog, came over, and he's like, "I brought you vodka lemonade," and I was like, "Guys, I really can't. I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
credentialed."
did he call it a? Just out of curiosity, if I'm just
Yeah.
trying to see if I got the right guy. Did he end up? Did he by chance call it a vodka lemmy?
No, he called it a vod lemmy.
Oh, he's shortened it by the year. That's
Yeah. We're
okay. Yeah, I
short.
think
You got, yeah. I think we're thinking of the same guy. He keeps on
yeah,
shortening it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I was. I was up in the pavilion, brother, getting
Okay.
my shots.
So anyway, I was again at home still for game 2. For actually all the games, I
You should have been
chose.
there, man. It was so fun.
I would have I would have loved that experience. Anyway, so the cameramen were struggling this series. We had a couple of moments. Devers hit a ball that went to the warning track, and this guy had the camera pointed. It was dead center, and he had it pointed like at a 45-degree angle, as if it would have been like it would have made the Ted Williams seat look like nothing. And then
Mhm.
he just kind of did a quick oops, and then it was at the warning track. And then the Casas home run that did
Oh
go
yeah.
over the monster, he had that baby pointed right at the bottom at the score. You could read the whole scoreboard, and then was like,
Mhm.
oops, that one just sneaked over, read that one wrong. And then the 2 Cowser catches, both of which were a real pain in the ass, but impressive. He hit both of those balls going way, way out into, they were going to maybe break the sicko sign, and then just oops. And that was a tough little game for him. And he had one in game 3 as well. I don't remember the exact scenario. It was the same like side camera at the end there for the wall. So, that guy struggled big time.
Well, you know what? We're all learning. It's spring training for everybody. Let me tell you
No, it's not.
the
No, these
left
games
field
count.
catches though. What's his name? Cowser. The
Yeah.
Cowser catches.
Mhm.
It sounds like the cameraman actually captured the atmosphere of Fenway, because again, I was there and everybody was like, "Oh, that's gone," both times. So it felt even
I'll
more like
take
you were
your
there.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
That's
we
good
were
to
like,
know.
oh, we were freaking out.
I would have loved to be at Jackson Holliday's debut. Yeah, I realized that I
Oh, it
was
was, yeah, I forgot it was even his debut. I didn't
yeah,
even matter to
yeah.
me.
Yeah. Because you just did every game. I
Mhm,
I was just sitting there being like about maybe 5 innings into that game. I was like,
mhm,
"Oof, I was supposed to be at this game." And it would have been really cool to be like, if he worked out, be like, "I was at his debut."
mhm.
But alas,
I can say that.
you can. Yeah. It's who man, you must have a real good credential guy.
It's all right. Gets the job done.
That sounds like it.
Gets half the job done. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We'll
been
both be at
rectified.
Fenway on Sunday.
Yep, because SI.com didn't love the fact that they chose, hey, we got one credential. Let's give it to the guy that wrote 3
The-
times a year and used to do a podcast for us.
Yep.
That's what the Red Sox chose over the guy that runs the site and also is on the podcast, whatever, that's now no longer affiliated. The one that brought it there temporarily, it's fine, whatever. And then they were like, just gonna let you know we have one slot. What would you like to do with it? And they were
Mhm.
like, Scott, obviously, Scott, what is this? What do you mean this isn't a conversation? So, but we're gonna now it's been rectified. We're both gonna be there. So,
We'll be there.
things, yeah, interesting, dramatic. I don't know what's going on with the credentials this year. It's been a little more tighter, I think, but it's okay. I mean, hey,
I don't know.
I'll make the next opening day, maybe. I'm
Maybe,
sure.
dude. Play your cards right. I know a guy I can get you in.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be nice. I'd love to just catch a game.
Hey, you know what? You know what might make you feel better? And this is
Mm.
actually the truth. I forgot to get the fucking souvenir ball.
Oh, when you were
And
on the
they're
field
gone
on
now.
opening day.
Mm.
Well, maybe you'll just get one next year when you get the credential.
Yeah, it's
Over
not the
me.
same. It's not the same. I know I will, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. If anybody has one, if anybody here is like, oh, I bought two. Well, I bought one for my brother, and then my brother ran away from home, and now we just have like an extra one. My DMs are open. I would love it. I'll buy it off you. I'm not looking for charity here. Except I am looking for charity. I go to buzzforkids.org/Joey Capone to help donate to some kids with cancer. But I'll pay you for the ball. I'll pay you for the ball. So I do really want it. The opening day festivities, I will say this, and this is not even to throw this in your face. Actually, you'll see that it's not
No,
throwing it in your face.
you would never do that. You
I would
never
never do that to you.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't anything. The flyover and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't understand how people get hyped up for a flyover. It's planes. I see planes all the time. If I see planes every day of my life, it doesn't do anything for me. I guess these ones are lower and faster, but like, I mean, I didn't even see it. I was under the pavilion. I was up in the press box. I don't know if you know where that is, but you can't see it from there.
Yeah.
And though they played American Pie for a 2004 montage, which was a interesting choice.
For 17 minutes, I believe.
The thing is, that song is 7.5 minutes long. And I don't know. I get it. There's a big montage to do. Mix in a couple of songs. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. I guess people had fun with it, but I was kind of like, what are we doing here? And I watched really closely because at the end, there's like I met a boy who sang the blues. I asked her for some happy news. And I know that there's a part where it's like the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. They caught the last train for the coast. And like as that part was coming, I was like, I wonder what they're gonna put to that.
I know exactly what they put to that.
Tell me.
Tim Wakefield, right? The Holy Ghost part. Is that what you're talking about?
They went Poppy, Larry Lucchino, Tim Wakefield, and then them hugging. I don't know. I feel a little weird.
You know what I'll tell you what was weird is my roommate in a weird mood today. Decided to play old music, like throwback stuff, and that was one of them that was in the playlist. He was drinking before 5. I don't even know what he was having a weird day, but
Well, God
that
bless.
song
Wait, what's
came
his
on.
name? What's his name?
Steve. You might
Oh,
know
it's
him.
Steve.
Yep.
Steve.
We went
Hope
on
everything's
vacation
all right,
together.
Steve. All right. Yeah, we
Remember
did.
we went on vacation together? Yeah. San Diego.
I've met him.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Did I-
I'm gonna call that vacation because that's a funnier than what really happened.
Did I like him? Did we hit it off?
I think you did. I think maybe the funniest moment of that trip was when you asked him how he felt about the Yoshida deal on camera, and he said, "I like it."
He
And
said,
then,
I think I said, thoughts on the Sox signing Yoshi? And he went, good.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was
Good.
the funniest moment of that video, for sure. And anyway, so he was playing music, and this was one of the songs that came on, and it hit me. I just was like, "Oh, this is forever going to be the Tim Wakefield's Dead song for me." That's all
Oh,
I'm going to think
yeah.
about now, and that's not that it's probably going to come up much in my life, but that song can't listen to that anymore in any context. It's like, oops.
That's fair. I think most people have heard it so much that like it didn't override. You know what I mean? You don't strike me as like a Don McLean fan, but I think most folks like it's not going to override. The memory, especially the older folks. Been hearing the song for 60 years. But right after that, the 04 Sox came on the field, led by Brianna and Trevor. I really hope I'm not messing up those names. Wakefield, who led out the 04 team to "You'll Be in My Heart" by Phil Collins, the Tarzan song, and that did get me going a little bit. That did get me going. Got me in the feels a little bit. That was very nice. And there were some great videos of Brianna talking about throwing a knuckleball. Did you see that?
No, when did that happen?
I think the Sox put it on their socials, I want to say. But yeah, Brianna was talking about, like, she was like, "Oh, my dad always said, this and that, and this is how you counteract the spin here, and this is what my dad always said." And it got me going. I was like, God damn. Just cool stuff. So I think the Sox did a great job honoring Wake and Larry. They're both up on the monster. Their numbers and their initials are up on the monster.
Right.
Good
adjustment there. Yeah, no, and then they got blown out by a considerable margin directly after.
Considerable margin.
But at least they showed some life in a couple of the Game 2 started off like, hey, this can be fun. I went into Game 2 being like, you know what, Joey's song, everyone keeps getting hurt. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep talking about it. Let's just go with the vibes, and we don't care about injuries. Whoever you put in there is going to be dancing before the game. It's not going to matter. And then they blew a 5-run lead. Also, credit to us being like 53 probably minutes into this and not mentioning one time that Story's out for the year.
That happened last series. Oh, the news.
Yeah, we didn't know how long. It could have been. We talked about, Tim Mazza, 16 days. He came back.
And that's kind of the place I was at. I was in denial about it. I thought he'd be back. I don't know, May.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that's a little different than what you previously thought last time we recorded an episode.
Right.
So
yeah, well, Story's out for
that
the year.
happened.
He fractured his glenoid. Another guy, glenoid, both sound gross. It sounds like an alien, doesn't it? Sounds like a
big. Definitely green, whatever it is.
Yeah, and it's kind of blobby. It kind of looks like flubber almost. Like that's a glenoid. Don't fracture that.
Yeah, don't. No, it's a season ender.
You do not want to fracture that.
You don't even
sidelined for a bit.
To be honest, don't even mess with your glenoid. Not even, even if you think you can pop it back into place, don't mess with your glenoid.
Leave your glenoid alone. Hands off.
You have two.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. It sucks a lot. I feel really bad for him. The interviews with him were heartbreaking, dude.
He's crying every time, and you're just like, boy, that is. You hate to see that.
And he very much like Duran is a very humanizing guy. Like the fact that he's like, man, I love to play this game. I just want to play the game. Yeah, it's like, God damn, that is what you're doing, isn't it? That is what this is all about. It's about you playing a game and loving the game and not getting to play the game. So you're a fucking class A moron if you've been giving Trevor Story shit for like, oh, he's made of glass, he's hurt again. He doesn't want to be hurt. He wants to be out there. Those things happen. And it only happened because he's so and he's a dog. He's a dog. It's a deep play. It's a great play to make. Unfortunately, it shattered his glenoid.
Yeah. But I actually heard it popped.
I heard it wasn't it shattered?
The green part.
Isn't that the word that I keep seeing is shattered?
No, I'm just talking about the green ball in there. Not like the glenoid, obviously, but I'm talking more about the actual glenoid. Not the bone, but like the alien thing in his shoulder. I heard it exploded. You only get one too. Once it blows, it's like your appendix. You can't get it back.
He pulverized his pet glenoid.
That was the word. The pulverized. Yep.
Pulverized his pet glenoid, and so he's gonna be sidelined for a bit. I don't know. I mean, what can you say about it? I think we all know. I mean, we all share the same take. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, we just want to see him play, and he's obviously a massive piece of this team and changes the entire outlook of the season. Like we talked about him being the make or break. You need him to have a big year, and now it's like he has no year. He has 9 games or whatever.
You know, it's interesting. My opening day was such a fun experience. I just, I elected. It was decided that I won't be going to opening day as a credential member of the media. Well, that doesn't. Whoever the decision maker, it doesn't really matter whether it was my choice or wasn't. Whatever. So I was already kind of like not in a great, like the best mood ever about that. And then Pavetta, who I had his team Cy Young, he's got an elbow problem, and it's supposed to not be a big deal, but I've lived long enough in my old age to hear a couple elbow injuries start as strains and become bigger. So didn't love that. And it's not like we're going to be able to survive for a couple of weeks without him. It's whatever, no big deal. Off days, that's cool, whatever, but it's going to be a problem. And then my team MVP was going to be Trevor Story, and I didn't factor that he would only be playing 9 games because he would have, if I knew that, he would have had to get off to a way hotter start. I probably would have picked somebody that was going to play more games just to have a better shot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like full contributions over the year, Trevor is rocking a 0.2 WAR. So if that leads the team at the end of the year, there's a problem. So your MVP pick's not looking great.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
He got hurt in game 1 of the Angels series. So we were 5-3 at that juncture.
Maybe.
That sound right? So let's call it that. Let's call it 5-3. So we had a 62.5% winning percentage with Trevor Story active on the roster playing baseball. And since then, 2-3. Not so hot.
6-2.
6-2. Okay, I gotta redo my math here. Didn't we sweep the Angels? No, we swept the. That's right.
Yeah.
So 75%. I shouldn't have needed a calculator.
They did sweep the A's.
Yeah, they swept the A's. They didn't sweep the Angels. That's what I got messed up in my head.
Yep. 6-2 at that point with Trevor Story in the lineup.
Yeah, so 75% of games won with our team MVP, and then after that, kind of proves how valuable he is when you have David Hamilton, Emmanuel Valdez, Pablo Reyes up the middle.
Yeah. It's amazing how fast it gets ugly.
And Devers is hurt too.
Baseball. Listen, dude, you made a great point earlier. I don't think I ever talked on it. The fact that, they're in the position that they're in and they couldn't put him in the box for 1AB.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would have.
Doubt it.
I doubt it too.
Maybe to stand there. Maybe to stand there as a decoy because you're still going to have to pitch a Devers as if he's Devers. But, because he is. Yes. But, yeah, you don't love to see that they were like, we'll just throw a pitcher out there if we have to. Or it seemed like that was the direct. If you're going to pinch hit him, you would think you would have just thrown him out at third where it's the non-throwing shoulder that's nagging him. I don't think it's throwing from third to first that's nagging him. I think it's very much the fact that he can't swing the bat without it whipping around and hitting him in the back because he's never taken like a B hack in his life. It's always just as hard as he can. So I could see that being a big problem here for him. They could persist or not. Who cares? I mean, he's hitting 150 now, so he's clearly bothering him still. Or he's hitting 150 since opening day, I think. I don't know. There's some. Who cares? He's not been doing well. He's really been kind of a non-factor since opening day.
Non-factor is the word I was going to use. Yeah. 38 ABs. He's hitting 184. But still has a 108 OPS plus because that's just what he does. Because he has 2 bombs, 3 ribs, scored 5 runs, 721 OPS. He's also walked a lot.
That's uncharacteristic. But I guess if you probably take that first hack and you scream, then you probably go, I'm going to take this pitch off. And maybe you get some better counts.
Yeah, your shoulder is screaming, so he can't swing the bat. Yeah, 184 average, 326 OBP.
Yeah. That's impressive.
7
The second
walks.
part of it.
Yeah, the second part of it. 7 walks, 6 strikeouts. That's a good race. Keep it up.
Do we just
Keep it up.
jump right into series MVP then, I guess? We'll just pick who our favorite
Scott,
player was.
so
Yeah.
terrible news. I know that it might be hard to watch so at Fenway they have like the big green wall where they have the score right there, so I can see it. Like it's really easy to see.
Where were you seeing it from?
From Fenway, I was there. I was at Fenway most of
Oh,
that series.
okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was there. Up in like the press area. And I could see the score. So when they lost all the games, dude. They lost every one of them. They got swept by the Orioles this series.
No, I don't think because. Well, no, game 2 and 3. No, game 2 and 3, we had the lead for like almost all of the game.
Yeah, no. So it doesn't matter that they had the lead for like most of the game. It's just they do it. They do it like whoever's winning at the end of it. Whoever has more runs once it's all said and done.
So it's
It
like
is.
you could lead 8 out of 9 innings, and it's just like that's obviously a win.
No. So no. So if the 9th inning is the one that you're not leading in, then no. So they lost every one of these games. They played 3, they lost 3. So I actually don't have a series MVP, and you don't either.
I feel like they're putting
Because
way too much weight on that 9th inning there, but yeah, what? So
they're trying out some new rules right now. So I don't know. Write a letter because their inboxes are open.
MLB hasn't been very good to me so far. I don't know if
Nope.
they're going to listen to me. They weren't, because I was just like, hey, you guys aren't going to fill up that park anyway. Like, you're going to be like 10,000 short. You mind if I just squeeze in?
They said, by the way, for game 2, they said it was 27,000. And again, I was there. I'll tell you, it wasn't 27,000. It was.
They said they didn't
20
have room
maybe?
for me. Clearly, there wasn't even a seat in the house. They said they're running out of space. They could only pick one of us. So Joey got
You know what? For the Holliday game, actually, there was like national people there because it was, so like they obviously didn't know that ahead of time. But
Wait, so,
also, I'll say this. I actually meant to tell you this just in a text on opening day. I went to get my credential. I was late getting to opening day. I was late getting to both of these games. And when I went to get my credential, there were still a ton of credentials there. So a ton of people applied, got credentials, and then didn't go. And I looked at some of the names as they're filing through these, and it's like Patriots guys. I'm like, what are you doing? And then not coming? It's so
that makes me feel so much better. But I mean, to be fair, if you're a national guy, if you work for like a national publication, that obviously has precedence over a regional place like Sports Illustrated. So I do understand that aspect of it.
Right. No,
like if you're like a national guy, like if you're like you go like you're not the Globe, like you're like one of like say for example, a couple of weeks ago you got acquired by a big company named Minute Media, and then like it's now owned by like Fansided, Players Tribune, and SI.com are all owned to the same place. So you're now number 1 on the ComScore rankings, like 40 million monthly page views above ESPN. If that was the case, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird because I feel like I'm kind of part of the biggest corporation in sports, but obviously regional guy. So
you get it.
I get it. Is what
I'm glad to
say.
hear from last week when I was like, "Hey, don't send that angry email." I'm glad to see that you've accepted it. You get it. It all makes sense to you now.
Post sending, yeah, that does, and you're starting to have some clarity.
No, it's series. No series MVP.
Well,
no call your shot again.
Yeah.
No emptying the bench because we don't do that segment. We've never done that segment.
Of course not. I don't even know what that means.
So that'll probably do it. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Nope.
What?
No.
Oh, gotta empty your brain.
No, before that, we got a thing. So right after series MVP, which was underwhelming, and then these kind of closing, like, the segments, we got one thing like we kind of usually do in between.
Weather. We're not doing weather this year.
No, because we used to, there was two before, but we just got one now because it's like we talk about the next situation and we kind of just like break it down. We call it like
Were you talking about like previewing the next series?
we're talking about the pitching preview.
Okay, folks, it is 3 games against the Halos at good old Fenway Park. Game 1 is going to be Tanner Houck versus Reed Detmers. Tanner Houck is back on the mound for the first time at Fenway this year. His Fenway ERA over his career is .448. His road ERA, you ask, Scott? .293. That is dramatic. And the other split everybody cares about, I'm going to bring it up every single time that we talk about Tanner Houck on this show. His first time through the order, ERA, 181. Second time through the order, ERA, 384. And third time through the order, 1196. Woof. Reed Detmers. Remember him? He racked up 12 Ks in 6 innings pitched against the Sox in Anaheim. 4 base runners in 6 innings. He throws a 4-seamer like an idiot. Slider, curve, changeup in that order. He's using that curve as his strikeout pitch this year, which is new for him and could point to his success, but the report on him may be out. Game 2 is going to be Griffin Canning versus TBD. Griffin Canning, remember him? 4 runs in 4 2/3, 3 home runs. I missed all of them. Remember that. Taking the bump for the Boston Red Sox is Tori Belinsky Dinkins. After making 22 starts last year, it's the first TBD start of the year, and oh boy, is it going to be a good one. I would expect the benches to clear, folks. We know his history with the Halos. Needless to say, it's a bad day to be Mike Trout's head. Game 3 is going to be Brian Bayo versus Tyler Anderson. Brian Bayo struggled in his first day game of the year, or did he? 3 runs, only 1 of them earned in his 5 1/3 pitched. It was his first outing without a bomb, so that is certainly something. And Tyler Anderson has 14 scoreless innings this year. 8 hits, 3 walks, whatever. Dude sucks. And that is going to do it for your pitching preview. Let me tell you this, Scott. When I see the Angels on the schedule coming to Fenway, and this is obviously the first time that this is the case, it took me a minute to realize that Shohei is not coming to Boston. And I was pretty bummed because I was like, oh, nice. It's an Angels series. Like it gets, because it was bumping for Angels series in years past, you know, a lot of international fans, a lot of people crowding the bullpen, trying to get a glimpse of the man. That ain't the case anymore. That's a bummer.
I'd say big time bummer, but luckily he's going to come over
next year.
No, I think we might go there. This year to the Dodgers. Yeah, you're right. That's just not as cool. I agree. I actually had the same thing. I had the same moment. But I mean, he's got his own scandals. He's wrapped up in some stuff now that he's left good old Anaheim, which is, you know, where Los Angeles Angels play. He might move to the big city lights, and his interpreter,
his personal interrogator.
His interpreter has some interrogators and found that he was missing like $40 million. It's a little side, whatever. Just some fun stuff that came out.
Yeah. I mean, that number was staggering. All of the numbers were.
He was one of the worst bettors I've ever seen. And that's saying something because I grew up in a small town in Massachusetts and I know plenty, but
yeah,
not good. Anyway, the Sox.
Yeah, the Sox. The Ipe thing. The real quick on the Ipe thing. If he stole $40 million from baseball's darling, what a piece of shit. If he did that, allegedly, what an alleged piece of shit.
So here's what I would say. I from my understanding, he stole 16 and he maybe just didn't pay off his debts. Like that's where the other. I don't know that he
Oh,
owed 40
right.
million, but I don't know that he gave all of the funds. And we should throw allegedly because podcasts have been known to get sued over this thing. Shout out Brett Favre, but there, there's a screenshot of him saying it's over, man. I did everything. If I don't know if you saw it, did you see this? Oh, hold on, I
What?
gotta find. There was a screenshot
There's
between
a
him and his
screenshot
bookie.
of him being like, I fucking did it.
Did you see the bookie stuff? You didn't see any of these screenshots? They were unbelievable. There was
No.
it was basically his bookie saying, "Hey man, I've hearing all this stuff. I know it's not true, whatever." And he was like, "Nah, man, I definitely did do this. Hold on. Let me
No,
it got
man.
sent."
I did it.
Okay, all right, you ready? Okay. He said the bookie said, "Have you seen have you seen the reports?" He said, yes, but that's all bullshit. Obviously, you didn't steal from him. I understand it's a cover job. I totally get it." Ipe said, "Technically, I did steal from him. It's all over for me." On March 20th,
What?
2024. Yeah, I can. Jeff Passan tweeted
Technically,
out.
technically, I
technically,
did steal from him.
technically, I definitely did that. What's your name?
Oh my God, that is so funny.
What's your name again?
Technically, I did steal from him. It's all over for me. Yeah, brother. Yeah, you're done. You're done for. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody fumble a bag so hard. You were set, bro. You were so set.
He was sending 500K every Monday to pay off his debts, and he kept asking for larger lines, like betting limits. And
Mhm.
he literally he was messaging like a high school like he was just like, "Dude, on my mom, this is the last time. I need you to increase my limit." And then like a little bit like a week later, he'd be like, "Look, last time, I need
Oh,
more." And the guy was basically like, "As long as you keep losing and give me 500K a week, I will set your limit to whatever you want." And so he kept being like, "Please, last time." And the guy was like, "No, I literally don't care. This doesn't have to be your last time. I will keep increasing your limit, let you spend more and more as long as you keep being good for it." And then there was this thing. It
how is
says
he? Wait, hold on,
victim.
real quick.
Mhm.
Before he stole the money from Shohei and before he asked Shohei for, how was he getting 500K a week?
No, this was like when he was actively stealing. Like
Oh, okay,
this
okay.
built up over time. And yeah, there was one where he said, I'm trying to find it. There was one screenshot where Otani, the bookie was like, "Hey, I'm like right in front of Otani." It said victim A. Otani's the only victim here. And
Mhm.
he was like, "Well, he's walking his dog right now. Should I like I'll approach him about it if you don't give me the money. Like you're not answering my calls, basically."
Oh my God.
And so yeah, it almost got handled then. I don't know when that everything had dates and everything. It was really cool. I wish I could find it. But yeah, that stuff was what a ride.
Jeez, man.
Very
Well,
funny.
that's our Angels preview.
Yeah, glad we nailed that. I don't
Yeah,
really think we need to cover
Angels.
it
I
anymore.
mean, swept them last time.
Okay.
Just do it again, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, we got it.
No, November 17th, 2023. Bookmaker 1. Hey Ipe, it's 2 o'clock on Friday. I don't know why you're not returning my calls. I'm here in Newport Beach and I see it says victim A,
Hmm.
Shohei, walking his dog. I'm just gonna go up and talk to him and ask how I can get in touch with you since you're not responding. Please call me back immediately. Feel like he might have called back.
Hmm. God
So
damn, dude, what a nightmare. I mean, listen, piece of shit if he stole from Shohei, but put yourself in Ipe's
allegedly, yeah.
shoes in that allegedly. Put yourself. Save me there. Thank you. Put yourself in Ipe's shoes there in that moment. That's a nightmare. That's a
Yeah.
nightmare, bro. Like again, bad if he did it allegedly, but
Mhm.
in that moment where, you just got caught up in it and you just couldn't stop and you thought you could win it back and
You
all
made
that
a
stuff.
couple oopsies in a row, but big whoop. You end up 40 million in
Yeah,
debt. It happens.
it happens to all of us. But to be 40 million in debt and this guy's like, "Hey, I see Shohei. Should I ask him about it? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's big scary.
So I think 2 out of 3 maybe.
I think 2 out of 3 too.
Yeah. And after we already gave our analysis, so I don't even think we have to expand on that. We just spent 20 minutes on the Angels, so I don't even think we really need to cover why we believe that.
No, I think everybody knows our thoughts now. I think we were pretty clear about it.
I will say that the Tanner stuff, that was like the 1, 2, third time through the order. That's all career, right? Like this year, I feel like he's been very good second time through the order, which is weird. So
yeah, well, the second time through the order is fine. It's like a 3.8, and those are his career numbers, yes. But yeah, it's like a 3.8.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so he'll be
that
good.
third one, that third time through the order. Actually, here, you know what? Let me pull up those stats for just this year.
They're a lot better.
I would like to see them because I mean, honestly, that probably should have been in the pitching preview. But
Yeah, whatever. I don't tell you how to do your job.
Hey, I appreciate that. Here we go.
But if I did, I would say you definitely should have used this year as well.
You probably should. Yeah. 2024.
If I were going to do, I'm not going to do it, but if I were to give you a tip, it would be to use this year's stats too.
Well, funny thing, Tanner Houck hasn't allowed a run this year. So.
Okay, so what is it first, second, third time through the order then? Give me the ERA.
So first time through the order, it's actually a flat 0.
Wow.
0.00. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because the first time through the order, he's been really good.
Right. And then the second time through the order, 5 innings pitched. Oh shit, that's 0. Yeah, he is 0. 0.00. But then when you get to the third time through the order,
that's like the problem area. You
1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 0 ERA.
That seems better than this year. So it seems like you're throwing a lot of slander his way when he's perfect.
Tanner might be fixed. He's perfect. So I do like Tanner. I've always thought Tanner could be a starter. It's just I don't like relying on him to be. But I don't know. Any other thoughts on this series or the Angels or just I don't know anything? Want to empty your brain of thoughts, Scott?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's empty with who? Who's that with again?
Emptying your brain of thoughts. Joey and Scott, you're up first.
I just Cutter Crawford had a weird outing. He looked awesome. He was super dominant, and then he forgot how to throw his fastball, and I thought that was interesting. But he got out of a bunch of traffic, and then he got hurt, which was par for the course. I thought it was, a little concerning. 3-0 fastball. He drills a guy like you're just trying to get one over, and he just smokes a guy in the ribs. That wasn't super awesome, but I will say the sign of like a frontline starter / ace, not that he's there yet. He's got like an 0.5 ERA, but 3 games, is that when you don't have your best control, you don't have your best pitches, you don't have whatever, your A game, you're still able to work through it. And he certainly was able to do that. So loved what I saw in a weird way. Like, it's good to see that even when everything's going wrong in the middle there, he's still not allowing any runs. And you're just sitting there like, okay, he looked absolutely nasty. He was unhittable. He just couldn't get any control. I think he gave up like 2 hits. And it was nice to see that even when he's not on his A game, he can still be dominant. That's a very good sign, I think, moving forward with the kid, 27-year-old, maybe 28. I think he's 28.
Cutter Crawford is 28 and 11 days. April 1st is his birthday. Just turned 28. This was his highest win probability added by a pitcher game.
Still 0-0, I believe.
He's 1-2. He's gotten 3 decisions.
Is that true?
Nope. Sorry, that is just the results. No decisions. Okay. You're right. No decisions.
Yeah, again, Joey, when you do that, you make me think I write bad articles. And
I'm just saying stuff. I'm just saying what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing isn't always what I should be saying. But yeah, 5 scoreless, 4 season high in walks. It was like almost a carbon copy of the prior start, where it's like he looks good, then he loses command of the zone, then he starts walking guys and manages to get out of it. So
here's a thing.
yeah.
Okay, so he entered the year with a 2.4 WAR.
Mm-hmm.
B-WAR, baseball reference. He's already collected 1 WAR in 3 starts. So essentially a third of his career WAR across 56 games came in the last 3 games.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
Talk about
A big Cutter year. Big year for Cutter. I'm going to try to go fishing with Cutter this year. That's my goal for the summer.
I killed them all.
The fish?
Mm-hmm.
Well, animal ERA at a flat 0. So,
No, I'm saying you. You tend to kill fish, especially if they glow.
yeah, me and Cutter near some fish is a dangerous combo.
That's 2 assassins in the wild.
I want to get a picture with me and Cutter that says it's a bad day to be a fish.
New shirts coming up Friday. Cutter Crawford.
Oh man, did I just get a shirt idea?
It. He signs it. He can sign it. That's not I think that would be an MLBPA. I don't think I could say anything. Get his signature, and then bad day to be a fish. I don't know.
You could do like the back of his jersey and just have his number, no name.
I like that too.
It's like him like casting a rod, and it says it's a bad day to be an animal.
Image, name, and likeness. Would have to get into that. Would have to, I'll have my lawyer get right on that. See what we can and can't do. You get a thought?
No, I don't have. I don't have a thought to empty, and I also don't have a closing thought. I'm coming in pretty bare bones today, but I feel like we covered everything. Was it a mess? Yeah. Did we talk about everything that happened? I sure think so. Maybe not. We'll see. But no, I don't really have any thoughts. That's kind of what I do. If I have one, I will bring it up. If I don't, then it's just stupid things. And like the only note I have in my phone that I think would be worth bringing up is a note that says it would be funny if Fast and the Furious was about foot races. That's all I got. Like,
yeah,
can you imagine? Same movie, but they're like, right, race me to the pole and back. And the girl is like, baby, you don't have to race him. It's too dangerous. Don't get hurt.
All right, I would have back in. That's a good idea. I love that.
It's a good idea. You don't have to do this. Okay. That's all I got. Thanks everybody for listening. We will be back. Yeah, we'll be back Sunday. Who knows? Maybe with a special version of the show. Maybe I don't want to say too much.
See us. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do. I would have said that as my closing thought, but you didn't really allow me the space. It's fine. It's okay.
My God. It's your closing thought, bro. It's your closing thought. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I was just going to say that we're going to be there Sunday. So if you want to come see us Sunday, we'll be there Sunday.
That one's on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
That's okay.
Right.
Yeah. Take my credentials and then don't let me talk. Part for the course. Ooh, I made a couple songs and now I think I'm big shit. Yeah. All right. Close the show.
They said Lucas Giolito is gonna miss.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back Sunday, maybe with a special version of the show, maybe not. Shout out to Prize Picks. Thank you to Prize Picks. The show is presented by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network. For Scott Neville, I'm Joey Capone. Go Sox, kid.